and my camera has already started recording. So, as far as sleep goes, I've slept well the previous like 3, 4 nights. I think it's been since I was in Vermont that I made an update video. So, it's like first night Vermont, second night Vermont, slept, third night Vermont, slept, last night slept. Actually, no, there's only 2 nights in Vermont. So, we got up there. Yeah. So, first night in Vermont, slept well. Second night Vermont, slept well. Third night home, slept well. So, I think you've only missed 2 days of videos. So, as you can tell, it's the end of the day, so my brain is a little. But come down here, make a video, talk about what I'm doing to sleep. Right now, I'm drinking as much green tea as humanly possible, eating beef, salt, and water, but I'm also taking Adderall. And I feel like, and smoking weed. And this is the thing about weed smoking that I feel conflicted about. I feel conflicted about it. So you can watch someone do real time decision making over the course of this YouTube channel. I try to be as unfiltered as possible and just give an honest account of human life and experience for myself, for future generations, for my customers, for people who find my information useful, for people who suffer from insomnia, for people who are trying the carnivore diet, for people who are trying to quit weed, people who are interested in the nature of all this stuff. Just putting it out there for the world to understand and for myself to understand. Though putting it out there for the world to understand, I guess, is like, it is a little scary because I'm like, well, they're going to misunderstand me. And so be it. It's kind of part of the reason why I make these videos the way I make them, because it's just unfiltered. It's uncut, it's unfiltered. If you want an unfiltered account of life, uncut account of life, this is what it is. And I do videos that way because the way I understand my business, they say like, that's not that your business. Like, what do they mean by that? That's not your business. Well, what they mean by that is that's not the things that you're supposed to be interacting with. It's not your business. Your business is the things that you're supposed to make, interact with, work with, your tools, your people. Your business, my tools, my people, my business is sharing ideas and sharing resources for reaching those ideas and for living out those ideas. So on the one hand, I have very specific products that I make that are just products that you use, and like the product is the message. It's just like you take a vitamin, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of straightforward. And then the other hand, I have very open-ended productizing, I guess, which is these YouTube videos. It's just, so it's like highly distilled, very open. And then in the middle, I make books, I have a website. It's kind of like the whole spectrum of sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, sharing resources. That's how I understand it. So, weed has been helping me sleep consistently these last few nights. And I feel weird about that because I don't like smoking weed. Like, I like it when it helps me sleep, but I don't like the negative after effects of smoking weed. So I got a disposable live resin vape on sale, high quality, Rhythm, Durban Skittles, like strain, but high quality. And been using that in the evening, and that's been helping my brain wind down because, like, one of the problems I have is my brain not wanting to wind down, and that'll kind of come on after like 7 days, 8 days. Then I can like fast, but then I sometimes need to like just rest. It's like I've just realized like I need to devote the next month and a half, 2 months to figuring out sleep. And what that means is it's like a slight shifting of focus. Like, I'm still going to be working because I have to work, got to work. Can't, I mean, you don't have to. I guess, like, the way I've set things up, like, I kind of have to just keep certain aspects of the business moving at all points in time. So I can kind of adjust that. I can go, okay, I'm going to work on this part of the business, like getting the supplements listed on various different platforms, um, getting social media more active, maybe getting on TikTok, Instagram, more brand presence there. I can build branding imaging. That's another thing I'm doing. building branding imaging, and I'll teach you guys through this YouTube channel in the future how to make branding imaging through AI, through Photoshop, through just hand-drawn images too. I mean, use all your resources. Why people are like anti-AI. AI is very helpful. AI is enabling me to do a lot more business than I would do without AI. So if you want to increase your bottom line, use AI because it's just faster. You have to still know how to do everything from scratch because it's not going to like do everything for you. Like you get some image components and then you splice them together and then you draw out some other component. But it's like you can use AI to get like 80-90% of the way there. You can use AI to learn how to bridge gaps. Like it's just it's a better form of Google, and also useful image generation software. The image generation software keeps changing though too. So you have to get good at using it to actually get quality images, but I've got some images that are really amazing. And I've generated a lot of images, just played around with it. I have GPT Pro, but I like that effect of weed. So one thing I've been looking into is like experimenting with either CBD or weed like once every 2 weeks or something, just to kind of like, because I'm fine without weed for like 2 weeks. I get to like the 2 week mark, and then I just kind of like my sleep just starts like eroding a little bit. And it's the same like without Adderall. Like I'll get to like the 2 week mark, 2 week mark without Adderall. It's usually like 2 week mark without Adderall. And then I start slugging a little bit. So I could just plan in advance, just have like a day once every 2 weeks, 2 days once every 2 weeks where I just take Adderall, smoke some weed, meditate, journal. And I want to see if that allows me to have consistently long periods of time without smoking weed, because I still love the frame of mind I'm in where I'm not smoking weed. It's just way better. Like smoking weed just makes me slower for jiu-jitsu, makes me slower for other stuff. It's just not ideal, but it makes me slower, so I want to go to sleep, which is nice. That's nice. So, and then I've also just had like just trouble relaxing in the evening. That kind of comes on like day 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like I just start being like up, like kind of just like like I got to do all this work. There's all this work that's got to be done. I don't know, fasting, weed, Adderall, paracetam, carnivore diet, fish eggs, raw liver, just had some fish eggs and raw liver, green tea. These are all tools, and I'm using B vitamins. I had a bunch of B vitamins today. I was feeling kind of nauseous. I hadn't taken B vitamins in several days. I took some B vitamins. Just like feel good in the brain. Salt, like these are all just tools I'm using that I want to document how I need to use these tools. And the reason I want to take the next few months and focus on my own sleep is because I keep getting injured doing jujitsu, and that's sort of a symbol. Like Elliot Hulse, when he tore his bicep, he interpreted that as a sign that he needed to stop doing strongman, write his book. Bruce Lee, when he broke his back, stopped training martial arts and wrote his book. I feel like I keep getting injured in jiu-jitsu because I won't just take some time off and write the book, which basically consists of where am I at now in terms of what I'm doing now? How did I get to that point, and where am I going from here? And that's just me kind of straightening that out for myself, because I want to have, like, I'm ultimately just going to keep doing whatever my intuition tells me to do, but I want to have, but like once my intuition gets me to a point where I'm just sleeping every single night for like 6 months, 8 months, it becomes a little hard to, it doesn't really become hard to force myself to do this work, but it's sort of hard to force myself to do this work anyway, because it's sort of like who wants to just spend time researching how to stay healthy? You're either healthy and you don't care, or you're sick and you're just like, make me better. So it's like right now I'm kind of on the brink where it's like I sleep pretty much every night. Maybe like 4 nights a month I don't really sleep that well, or I don't sleep at all. So I'm right at that brink where I'm like, okay, I should probably just write this thing, and then I have a plan for what to do once I'm already healthy, transitioning off carnivore. I just have a kind of a record of this is how I got out of my last insomnia episode, and this is what to do. This is what I'm planning on doing in the future. This is what I did, very directly, not just like in journals and scattered notes, like just have the whole thing like kind of put together for myself. So I'm like, okay, this is basically what I've learned in my struggles with insomnia. This is what I've kind of developed, and I could show this to people, and they'd be like, oh, wow, that's such an interesting experience you had. And hey, you did all these things. And I think that actually, they can say, like, I think that what you're doing makes sense. I think that what you're doing doesn't make sense for these reasons. I agree with this part. I don't agree with this part. I can kind of join, I can put my ideas into the conversation of literature that's constantly going on, because literature is a conversation between everyone who can read and write. So I'd like to just put my book out there into that conversation, put information out there. And I think it's just time for the book. So that's what I'm working on. I'm going to be meditating this week, probably going up to Vermont at some point in the next week, and going hiking Mount Mansfield. That'd be fun. I will be, yeah, having a little retreat up to Vermont to go hike Mount Mansfield, meditate, review my jiu-jitsu notes. I am kind of paranoid, like telling like people where I'm gonna be on the internet. Like I'm not gonna say when I'm gonna be there because I'm just paranoid, you know. Like I struggle with that, you know, making videos online, being paranoid. Excuse me, that's just those fish eggs and raw liver. But I drank them down with some fermented tea, some tea I fermented in the cabinet. I've been having solid poops, like ridiculously amazing, giant solid poops, and that's incredible. Feel really good. I think I'm gonna also just do body weight exercises for the next 6 months because I just feel like, and maybe a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a little bit of kettlebells, but I want to kind of take a break from that, do a lot more solo drilling, a lot more relaxed style of training, just because again I keep getting injured. Get this book out, get the personal care products out at some point in time, start working on finding like batch manufacturers, contract manufacturing, getting our own facility done, making sure the contract manufacturers can actually make the supplements to the degree that we want them to make them and the way we want them to make them, to the standards, purity, all that jazz. So probably have to like take some of those supplements after they make them, make sure I don't get insomnia from them. The risks I take for business, gentlemen. Until tomorrow, adieu.